An evil fairy places a curse on a deceitful king's infant daughter. As the child grows, she keeps a watchful eye over the girl until she realizes she may hold the key to changing their world forever in Maleficent.
Hi, I'm Brenna here with Zoriana and Jamie to talk about Disney's new film, Maleficent. We've all just seen it. Zoriana, how about you start us off?
Well, I wasn't prepared for what I ended up seeing on screen. I went in expecting something totally different just based on the ads. I thought I was going to see something that was dark, someone who was very evil, and when I took my 7-year-old daughter with me, I was actually concerned that it might be too scary for her. But in fact, the opposite happened. Maleficent is not evil. It was much more kid and family oriented than I ever expected it to be.
I mean, I felt like the story was light. I thought it would be darker than it was, but I should have realized because it is Disney. But it's a kid's story. But works for both kids and parents. They incorporate a lot of fairy mythology to it. The original Sleeping Beauty fairy tale, Maleficent is a fairy. She's mad that she didn't get invited because they forgot about her, and so she casts the spell. So they take the old French fairy tale that she is a fairy and add some of the English mythology of fairies being weak to iron, and make this entire new backstory. And she's not evil. She's not a villain at all. She's just bitter.
No, and that's what I really liked about it. I mean, I'm clearly not a fairy tale Disney princess fan.
Why is that clear?
And because I'm such a superhero geek that I wouldn't, this isn't my thing. And so I actually was like, oh, I gotta go see this movie. And I really liked it. I loved the world that director Robert Stromberg created. I mean, visually, it's absolutely stunning, and it makes sense because I actually thought the movie was very dark. And I'm kind of like, I don't know what audience this is for. I think adults are going to enjoy it. And kids, I don't know what age range this is really right for because it is very dark.
There's some scary moments in there.
But I really liked it. And,
yeah.
I loved that she is the hero of her own story.
I feel like this is one of Angie's best performances in ages. And one of the reasons I think that is because she doesn't have to do much. She just gets to stand there and be stoic and statuesque and perfect.
But I think that's why I had issues with her performance, because I wanted to see more emotion. I felt that it was almost too easy for her to stand there and look beautiful because all she has to do in life is to stand there and look beautiful, So that bothered me a little bit. That's why I wanted to see more of her falling in love.
She's chewing up the scenery in this film. I really thought she gave a great performance and had a lot to do and really was able to be as wicked as she wanted.
I felt her heart at the end.
Yeah,
when she's talking to the girl.
And you understand where she's coming from, and she's very emotional. And I disagree. I really thought that it came through all the makeup, and I mean she's got these prosthetic cheeks that she has on, and all the horns and all this stuff. And I thought that through her performance, that emotion really came through.
I thought, to me, she was more visual than she was emotional. There are so many shades of Avatar in this movie, and that is directly because of Robert Stromberg. He won an Oscar for his visual effects work on Avatar. He also won an Oscar for working on Alice in Wonderland, and he worked on Wizard of Oz, the Oz Great and Powerful. So he knows these fantastical worlds. He knows how to create this fantasy world and bring us right into the film. And he did such a great job. I mean, you'd think that this guy was, directing all his life, but because he had really good people around him to just watch and learn from his whole career.
Yeah, I mean, 2 points. I mean, it's very funny that you say Avatar, because there was a creature in the movie at one point where it's like, that's an avatar. And he actually was working on Alice in Wonderland when this project came to Burton. And Burton was in talks to direct it, Tim Burton, and said, I think this should be your film. I think this should be the one you do. And I think he was a brilliant choice. I mean, you always are a little trepidatious when it's a first-time director, but obviously,
you can't
as you said,
he had
so much. Yeah. Well, he is a first-time director. I mean,
Technically,
literally,
on
he is a
paper, he
first-time
is,
director.
yes.
I mean, it's his first feature film. But as a filmmaker, he's been doing this for 20 years.
Yeah, you
And
kind of
so-
get
and it comes-
excited about
yeah.
what he can do next and what he's
Absolutely.
going to do next.
Absolutely.
So to me, this film was almost like the birth of a new voice in Hollywood. And it's just going to be interesting to track his career and see how he decides to follow up and what he decides to do. Maleficent is not strong on story, but thanks to Robert Stromberg's direction, he brings us into an amazing world that's certainly worth visiting. See it.
I really enjoyed the retelling of the classic Sleeping Beauty story, and I thought Angelina Jolie's performance and Robert Stromberg's direction were excellent. I say see it.
Maleficent is visually breathtaking and surprisingly sweet. They may have ruined a great villain, but they've created a fantastic hero in her place. See it.
Cheers.
Sleeping Beauty.
That's it?
I ain't kissing you.